So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact sales process that we use for closing clients from first contact to final decision with cold email. So let's dive into it. I posted a tweet on this recently, and I feel like it went a bit overlooked because this is extremely valuable. Like, if you use this exact sales process, even if you suck at sales, I guarantee you're going to close more deals. Because so we recently hit client capacity in September. Now we're launching outreach again. But back in August, we closed 6 clients at like an 80% close rate using this. Um, you could say we could have increased prices, things like that, but I don't think I'm like the greatest at sales. I mean, I'm very authentic when I speak to people, but I'm not any sort of sales guru or whatever. So, closing at that high of a rate is extremely, it's kind of unheard of. And we were selling retainers, so it's not like the easiest sell for lead gen either. So let's just dive into it. I'm telling you, if you follow each 10 of these steps, you will close more deals. I guarantee you. You could probably have like a 50% close rate, depending on your deal size with this sales process. So let's dive into it. So step one, you want to create a valuable sales asset. You might ask yourself, like, what is the point of this? I'll show you right now. So it's going to be used for two things, for two very important things. So in this example, I'm going to show you exactly what we do for ourselves for our lead gen offer. So what we have here, I created an 80-page document covering our entire cold email process, right? So it's super in depth, super thorough. This is basically a course. I could sell this for a course for like, I don't know, like $100 or something. Nothing crazy, but you could the in theory the prospect could take this document and create their own cold email system. But the thing is, we're not selling the system itself. We're not selling the vehicle. We're selling the implementation of this, right? Because they're gonna read this and they'll be like, "Holy shit, this is a lot. Like I don't have the time to do this. Let's just pay this guy who's obviously an expert to do this themselves." And yeah, so that's why sales assets, creating things like this is so important because it's just leverage. Like, not many other lead gen agencies have something like this. So sending the prospect a document covering our entire system in depth is gonna you know it's gonna make us stand out from the rest of the competition. Essentially, it's gonna take us out from the productized marketplace that the lead gen market is. So first step, I recommend creating just whatever your service is: email marketing, ad creative, lead gen 2. Open up a Google Doc and just think of every part of your process that is needed to be taken, every step that is needed to be done, and just write it down. And then extrapolate upon that, right? Get more in depth, you know, and then write it, like, kind of add some copy elements to it. Make it nice to read, right? Because it's a lot, so you want to reading as make reading it as easy as possible. So step one, create a sales asset, basically covering your entire strategy. And step two, create a cold email campaign around offering the sales asset itself. So, show you an example. I'm not going to show you guys the exact script I use because then everyone's going to be ripping it. But, here's an example. So, this person said yes, they're interested in seeing the document. So then we send the document, and they click on this link. They can see the document, same one, and they can read it for themselves. And then from there, they can book a call, right? They either book in through the document, or we book them in through cold email, etc. And then they hop on the call, right? So send them the document, hop on the call. Obviously, not everyone's gonna hop on the call, but assuming that they hop on the call, we go to the third step. Or the third step, obviously, we send the asset, the sales asset to the interested prospect. Then step four, when the prospect booked the call, we want to redirect them to more case studies post booking. So actually, I'll show you guys our Calendly subsequence right now. All right, so I have the redirect here for when a prospect books in the meeting. They're going to be receiving this email, and this is what I mean by like redirecting the case study. So I'm going to show you what that email looks like. So this is after they book in. It's like, hey name, Christian for Red Growth, blah blah blah. We've done this for 10 plus clients, and then there's a link to all of our case studies, right? So we're making them even more warm. We're offering more value. We're trying to put ourselves in front of their face as much as possible, to make them as warm as possible when hopping on the call, to make the close as easy as possible. That's essentially what we're doing here. We're doing all this back end work. We're building all these bricks in the back end to make it so when they hop on the call, the close we basically already sold them. It's just pushing them over the edge. So we don't have to do any sleazy sales tactics. We don't have to like sit there and convince them that this works. They already know it works. It's just a matter of, does the investment make sense and can we bring results? Now, okay, yeah. So the help and discovery. Obviously, you want to qualify them, make sure they're qualified, ask your questions, etc. Typically, one thing I like to do, if they hop on a call from a cold email, and we send them the sales asset, I'll start the call. I'll start the call asking them, what do you think of the sales, or what do you think of the document I sent you? Then, they'll say if they read it or not. If they read it, then they'll go further from there. If not, then it's fine. And then yeah, just I mean whatever works for you on discovery call. What we do is like we have like a small, like 5-minute presentation that we cover in the discovery that briefly breaks down the process again. And then after that, we typically tell them pricing, and then we schedule a second call from there because they usually, because with most of these bigger agencies, like ones that we work with, they have a full team that they need to speak to first. Unless if we're talking directly to the founder, but a lot of the time we're not talking to the founder. We're talking to like other high level decision makers that don't own the company, of course. So yeah, they need to go back to their team and then see if it makes sense, financials are good, etc., and then hop on the second call. But this is the nail in the coffin. What I'm about to cover right now. Okay, so yeah, you want to schedule them in for a second call. Make sure you do that because you don't want them to go loose. Bonus if you can add them to your Slack channel, so you can say after discovery, be like, hey, you mind if we add you to our Slack channel? And I would say like 80% of the time they'll say yes, because in that situation you already have them in. Then like the whole onboarding process becomes so easy for them because they're already in your Slack channel. They already know the next steps. Everything is just like so seamless from there. So we're just lowering the barrier of friction um, by doing that. So this is the nail in the coffin that I was talking about. What you want to do is film a personalized Loom video explaining your entire strategy and give an exclusive look into other successful client accounts that are in the same niche. So this second part is probably the most crucial part because that's like, okay, for example, this is an example we have. So let's say we have a call with a UGC agency, and we've already brought results for other UGC agencies. So what we do after this call, I basically start the call off on their website, and then I was like, oh, you guys' website's good, etc. If it's not good, then I'll tell them like, hey, there's some optimizations that you made, blah blah blah. Then I hop on this document, even though they may have already received the document. I go over it again because I would say like 95% of the time they don't actually read the full document. And also just giving your own 2 cents and explaining every little part to them with your words helps clarify a lot of things and makes it easier for them to understand. But the main kicker is going into other client accounts and showing them what's working. So like, for example, for the UGC agencies, I'll hop into one of our UGC client accounts. So like, let's say for like this is our 222 or whatever. I'll hop into this account. I'll literally go into these campaigns and like show them the exact scripts that we're using to book meetings. I'll even like show them sales assets that we're leveraging that work really well, and basically expose everything. And I've never had someone, we show them everything and they just go off and do it themselves. They typically want us to do it for them, right? Because we're the ones with the sauce, right? You can copy and paste things, but you can't replicate the sauce. You know what I'm saying? So doing that, it's just like it's a nail in the coffin because you've shown them multiple times that you're an expert. You've shown them case studies, and now you're literally going into a client account that is just like them and showing them that what exactly you're doing that is working in the moment, right? So it's just absolutely no brainer for them to work for you at that point. Make sure they watch the video. You don't so like let's say they haven't watched the video yet and you help in the second call. Make sure you start the second call with asking them, have they watched the video? If they say they haven't, then ask them like, hey, okay, can we move this call to like tomorrow or the next day? And so you can have time to watch the video, right? So once after they watch the video, let's assume they watched the video, right? So yeah, if they haven't watched the video, make sure they do. Once they do, hop in the second call. Then you can just ask them, hey, what do you think of the video, etc. They'll probably have some questions. Answer those questions. If they have any objections, handle those. Basic sales, and then be like, okay, well, when are you going to get started? And at that point, if they're not sold at that point, I mean, you've done everything you can. There's really not much else you can do at that point. It was just, yeah, it's not really much else you can do. But from our experience, everyone we've ran through this funnel as a qualified prospect that we want to work with, we have closed. Literally all of them. So, definitely recommend trying this out. Oh yeah, final step: send invoice PIF. Easy. So definitely recommend trying this out, especially if you're a lead gen dude. I give this a test. But this works for any agency model, any B2B model. Definitely test this out. Especially if you're someone that's not that confident in sales, all this back end work is going to help you a lot. So definitely do this. Like I really wanted to film this video because like I seriously think this is something that's very overlooked, and this is straight sauce, bro. Like this is actually sauce. Like this is something I should sell in a course, to be honest. But yeah, I just want to throw it out there because I know a lot of people are going to watch this video and then because this takes a lot of work, right? Like you have to go create the sales asset, you have to film a video. Like it takes a lot of work, but I'm telling you, your close rate you should have at least have like a 50% plus close rate doing this with this process. So, anyways, I hope you found this valuable. If you found this valuable, leave a like, and yeah, if you are an agency, check out revgrowth.ai.com. Specifically, we're working with creative agencies specifically now. That's sort of our forte. As I mentioned before, TikTok, UGC, influencer marketing, all that stuff. If you want to book some more meetings, if you want an extra 10 to 25 qualified calls per month, come to our website, check out our case studies, and hit this nice orange button and book a call with me today, and we'll get that going. So, again, hope you found this valuable. Really trying to start to ram more video content because I have a lot to say. But yeah, cheers.